So, if you have been paying attention, this is not the first time this season that we've made a video about this guy. A very decorated hockey player of years past, and a very, very skilled Detroit Red Wing of yesteryear. Today, we're talking about Sergei Fedorov one more time, and discussing this time how his, let's just say his present, can help influence what the Red Wings have in the future. This is because we're not actually referring to the 55-year-old Sergei Fedorov and his time as an NHL, KHL player, although he was a very good Detroit Red Wing for all these seasons. But if you take a look at what Fedorov has been up to lately, you'll see that his most recent team staff profile and elite prospects had him listed as the head coach of CSKA Moscow, a role that he held for 3 seasons in the KHL. Now, of course, 23-24 was technically 2 seasons ago, but Sergei Fedorov, of course, is still around the bubble of players in Russia, and especially young Red Wings. Which is why today we are referring to what Sergei Fedorov had to say about Red Wings prospect Dmitri Buchelnikov, playing for CSKA Moscow this season. He's a Red Wings 22-year-old prospect, second-round guy, drafted 52nd overall in 2022. Man, that's a lot of twos. 22 years old, 2022 draft date, second round, 52nd overall. 5'10", 170, a right-handed left winger, and a guy who was signed on with CSKA Moscow till the end of this season. The EP Rinkside scouting report from 2021 said that he's a speedy winger with the ability to bounce off his line mates, a flashy offense-first player. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't really give us a lot of context as to what the story is about with Buchelnikov these days, but it does give us some sort of an idea as to the qualities that made him attractive in the first place when the Red Wings selected him 3 years ago. But ever since that time, when he was an NHL draftee, he inevitably worked his way up and became a KHL stud with Vityaz Moscow region last season, scoring 54 points in 65 games played. Now, you might be looking at Buchelnikov and saying, hey, wait a minute, the guy's got 9 points in 14 CSKA Moscow games this year. He's on pace for fewer points than what he had last year. What gives? He's getting worse. But this is the thing you have to keep in mind, folks. This is the KHL. Not every KHL team is built equal. And when it comes to one of the top teams, or you can say top teams, let's just say one of the most popular and front-focused teams in the KHL, in CSKA Moscow, the fact that Buchelnikov is scoring fewer points with this team versus Vityaz Moscow region, that makes a ton of sense. In Vityaz Moscow region, the guy was the top dog. If you head over to the point production over here, Buchelnikov was the number 1 point scorer by quite a significant amount. I mean, take a look at all these names here. You've got Ivan Vorobyev, St. Louis Blues prospect. Ivan Chekovich is over here. So is Jeremy Waugh, former top prospect of the San Jose Sharks. This is a bunch of, and no disrespect to anybody on Vityaz Moscow region, but this is not CSKA Moscow. They've got a whole bunch of guys. They've got one of the top scorers in the league in Daniel Sprong. Buchelnikov is right there. There's a lot of talent and a lot of recognizable names, like that same Jeremy Waugh, who happens to have joined Buchelnikov with CSKA. But the point is, the fact that Buchelnikov is scoring more points from previous years, it just happens to do with the fact that the team he was on was weaker, and he was given the keys to the car to run with it and do his own thing. CSKA Moscow, there isn't that same flexibility. But we've spent 4 minutes talking about Buchelnikov, the player, and just going over his elite prospects page. What exactly is it that Sergei Fedorov had to say? Well, this is where we head over to an article published by Bob Duff earlier this morning on Detroit Hockey Now, talking about how Fedorov talks about top prospect. And, the title doesn't really leave a lot to the imagination there, doesn't it? Just kidding. Let's go out there and read what Sergei Fedorov told Detroit Hockey Now in a telephone interview from Moscow. Yeah, Buchelnikov is a goal scorer, definitely. He's one of those. He can make a play too, make a couple of passes. So, offensively, there's really no problem with this guy. He'll probably get his 20 or 30 goals here, I hope, because he plays power play almost every game and gets 3 to 4 chances. Then you have yourself some of the highlights from this season. This is the goal he scored against Akbars Kazan. It was a really nice drag and shoot between the defender's legs, hitting the back bar, and there you go. He's got that monkey off his back. Lots to love out of Buchelnikov and the on-ice skills that he possesses. He is third in scoring on CSKA Moscow. For the majority of Red Wings followers, the only exposure they get to this guy is via highlights or live streaming of games. That even includes the brass of the Red Wings. Seeing him on the ice in person daily, Sergei Fedorov can offer a much more detailed perspective on Buchelnikov's game. As is often the case with younger players in Buchelnikov, he sees a player still learning the intricacies of playing the game without the puck. The hockey we play, it's men's hockey, Fedorov said. It's responsible hockey. At 5'10", 169, Buchelnikov also has some filling out to do physically. He's not thin, but he's certainly not very tall, Fedorov said. Yeah, he's a small forward. Now, the article takes a fun little turn here. It says that Buchelnikov is playing in the last year of his KHL contract, and expectations are that he'll be signing with the Red Wings in time to come to North America next season, if not later this season. Maybe a la a certain Ivan Demidov? You then have Hasky Highlights tweet over here. Detroit Red Wings prospect Dmitri Buchelnikov liked a comment that said the Red Wings on his latest Instagram post. I still strongly believe he'll be coming after this season. Then there was the post over here, and then one of the comments said, let's go Red Wings. Seems like Buchelnikov himself is enthusiastic as well about coming over to Motown. Fedorov is certain that Red Wings fans will like what they see when Buchelnikov arrives. He's the nicest guy ever, Fedorov said. Very talented. He's one of the top 6 here. Most of the time, they start the game with their line. Essentially saying that he is a first-line player with this KHL team, which is of course great to see. You want to see prospects, especially in this age range, be given the reins to do what they can do. CSKA Moscow is better than Vityaz Moscow region, so it's understandable why he wouldn't explode out the gate with as many points as he had last year. But you still have to look at just the way that that team is assembled and how they have a lot of top-end talent, even though Buchelnikov is a first-line guy. This 22-year-old, though, could be heading to Detroit as soon as the end of this season, depending on what happens. So if you're excited for that, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How does Dmitri Buchelnikov strike you as a potential future Red Wing? And what do you think his ceiling is at the NHL level? If I had to guess, if the Red Wings can get, let's say, a 40 to 50 point guy, consistently, who has some really nice skills and some good speed, then I'd say that's a pretty good win for a Russian second-rounder from a few years ago to inevitably proceed into NHL stardom. He's not going to be a Lucas Raymond. He's not going to be a top player in the NHL in points or whatever, but if he does do that, that'd be great too. Let's just be reasonable here with our expectations and get excited, because Sergei Fedorov says we probably should be. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you didn't, then the dislike button is down there for you as well. Comments help out with the algorithm. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about Buchelnikov. The article that we looked at will be in the description if you want to read about this yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.